Al-Bukhari states the city of Ghana was a composite of two towns situated on a plain. Archaeologists are divided over whether Kumbusali constituted the capital in the 5th–11th century, with those expressing doubts growing in number. Whether or not Kumbusali was the city of Ghana does not affect al-Bukhari's location of its one plain, and consideration with significance that will be demonstrated. Prior to the 5th and 11th century, the city of Ghana both reflected and facilitated a veritable power grid within their located four principal spheres of activity: commerce, Islam, ancestral religion, and the state. The market was by design a conjunctive space in which all four elements necessarily are frequently interactive, while the other three conform to less than strict physical and cultural demarcation. The primary dividing living space was drawn between the Muslim community and all other sectors, with the former said to constitute a separate sphere. One of the capital's two towns with 12 mosques, salaried imams, and museums, as well as jurists and scholars. The King's Town was 6 miles away, but with continuous habitations between them. Al-Bukhari seems intrigued with the King's Town and its doomed buildings and domes and thickets where the sorcerers of these people, men in charge of the religious cult, live. In them, too, are their idols and the tombs of their kings, and also the king's prison. If somebody is in prison, there no news of him is ever heard. The association of ancestral religion with death, the death of former rulers, the certain death of the current ruler, and the impending demise of the royal courtiers, and the veneration of the dead through sacrifice, and the implied death of prisoners is profound. This sacred grove was Ghana's existential center, intimately and extremely connected to the state, authority, and its power to interpret life's meaning and sanctions its violation. But just as extraordinary are al-Bukhari's connections between Islam and ancestral religion, suggesting an accommodations, presumably for the sake of commerce, implicit in the mitigation and spatial distance between the two towns by continuous habitations affecting continuity. In concert with the physical configuration with cultural approximations, as the king's interpreters, the officials in charge of his treasury, and the majority of his ministers are Muslim, indicating Islam's growing influence in the royal court. Through the middle of the 5th, 11th century, therefore, Muslim scholars and jurists, non-Muslim priests and kings, the merchants, and other town dwellers all observed a certain mutual tolerance, with al-Bukhari's praising one Tonku Basi, who led a praiseworthy life on account of his love of justice and friendship for Muslims. After observing that only the king and his parent, who is the son of a sister, may wear sewn clothes, while all other people wear robes of cotton silk or brocade according to their means, al-Bukhari notes that the king sat in a domed pavilion in royal sessions to his right, the sons of the vassal kings of the country wearing splendid garments and their hair plaited with gold. In approaching the king, the people would fall on their knees and sprinkle dust on their heads, for this is their way of greeting him, while the Muslims only clap their hands. Some of the protocols, especially the earthen ablutions of sprinkle of dust, would extend over generations and territorial expanse to include imperial Mali and dynastic Songhai. Matrilineal succession is explained by the observation that the king has no doubt that the successor is a son of his sister, while he is not certain that his son is in fact his own. The sons of his vassal kings also feature a forerunner to the French école des otages in the 13th and 19th century, but as 4th–10th century ruler of Agadez is also said to have received tribute from 20 kings of the Sudan. The precise nature of the kingdom's political submission is unclear. Finally, as we true of Gaio, adornment was gave to civilization as well as a social differentiation.